New USA Immigration Rules 2025, What You Must Know Before Traveling. In 2025, people are landing in America and getting sent straight back. No warning, no second chance, just heartbreak and a return ticket home. The rules changed. Quietly, brutally, and most travelers have no idea. Students, workers, tourists, families, denied entry for the smallest mistake. You think you're ready? You're not. Unless you know what's in this video. This isn't about travel anymore. It's survival. And what you're about to learn could be the only thing standing between your dream and total disaster. The Trump effect. Major policy shifts in 2025. Imagine this. You're Maria, a single mom from Manila. You saved for 3 years, sold your family's tricycle, and finally landed that golden tourist visa. America was the dream. But the moment you touched down at LAX, that dream turned into a nightmare. Within 15 minutes, you were detained, interrogated, and thrown on a flight back home. No trial, no lawyer, not even a phone call. Welcome to the new America. Trump's back, and he didn't wait. On day one, he dropped Executive Order 14,159, a brutal policy that gave immigration officers the power to deport people on the spot. No court, no hearing, just suspicion. That's all it takes. And it's not just at the border anymore. These expedited removal procedures now stretch across international airports and major U.S. cities. You could be a student, a tourist, even a returning green card holder. If they think you lied or violated anything, boom, you're gone. This isn't just hash. It's deadly silent. And the scariest part? Most people have no idea this is even happening. So if you're planning to come to the US this year, you need to hear this. Smash that like button if this shocked you already, and let's get more people aware before it's too late. And whatever you do, don't go anywhere, because what's happening next is even harder to believe. Sanctuary cities? Gone. And so is your last safe zone. If your city had to choose between protecting you or keeping its federal funding, which do you think it would pick? That's not hypothetical anymore. Meet Diego, a construction worker in Chicago, undocumented but hardworking. He's lived there for 11 years, pays taxes, keeps his head down, and sends money home to his mother in El Salvador. For years, he felt safe because Chicago was a sanctuary city. It didn't cooperate with ICE, didn't share data, didn't turn people in. But in 2025, all that changed. Trump's administration slashed funding to cities that protect undocumented immigrants. That meant one thing: comply or go broke. So now, cities that once promised to protect people like Diego are quietly surrendering. And ICE, they've ramped up enforcement. Thousands of new agents, zero tolerance, and total authority. These aren't just raids anymore. It's surveillance, license plate tracking, workplace sweeps. They don't need a criminal record. They just need a hunch. Diego was picked up outside a 7-Eleven. No warning. No charges. Deported in 72 hours. Gone. Just like that. What about your city? LA used to protect its immigrant community. So did San Francisco, New York, Denver. But now, they are making deals behind closed doors. Cooperation agreements. Data sharing pipelines. Because money talks, and fear silences everything else. Now ask yourself, if even the safe zones aren't safe anymore, where do you run? Stick around, because what's happening next isn't just shocking. It's going to change how you see the US immigration system forever. The Lacan Act, the law that's got everyone sweating. Ever been judged for something you didn't do yet? Well, welcome to the new America, where allegations are now enough to get you deported. No conviction? Doesn't matter. A charge is all it takes under the Lacan Act. And trust me, this law isn't just strict, it's straight up savage. There's this guy, JR, lives in Houston, works 2 jobs, sends money home to his Lola in Quezon City. No priors, nothing sketchy. But one night, a drunk customer at his restaurant accuses him of assault after a heated argument over, wait for it, a missing side of fries. No proof, no conviction, just a charge. That was enough. JR got flagged in the system, picked up 2 days later by ICE, and thrown into removal proceedings. Didn't even get to call his boss, let alone a lawyer. And here's the kicker. Under this law, even minor criminal records from your home country can trigger instant deportation. Petty theft? Bar fight? Something from 10 years ago? All fair game now. It's like Tinder, but instead of ghosting you, Uncle Sam deports you. And yeah, you don't even have to be guilty. You just have to look like trouble on paper. Now I want to know, is this justice? Or just legalized paranoia? Drop your take in the comments, because this one's gonna spark debate. This isn't fear-mongering. It's fact. The US deported over 142,000 people last year, and this act is about to push that number through the roof. Stick around, because what's next in the system? Yeah, it gets even darker. The wealthy? A shortcut to a green card. Imagine working 12-hour shifts, 6 days a week, just to save enough to apply for a US visa. Now imagine someone skipping the line, buying their way in, faster than you can say green card. Let me tell you about Sasha, a Filipino nurse in Dubai. She's been grinding for 9 years, building her resume, gathering paperwork, praying her EB3 visa clears before her daughter turns 18. Then she hears this on the news. The gold card visa. A brand new path for the ultra-rich. Drop $5 million directly into the US economy, maybe in real estate, a business, a hedge fund, and boom, fast-track to a residency permit. No waiting, no quota backlogs, no years stuck in limbo. Sasha, still stuck in immigration purgatory. Meanwhile, some crypto bro in Dubai gets a welcome to America stamp faster than you can finish the sentence. Faye? Not really. But this is 2025. Under Trump's return, money talks louder than merit. And the numbers prove it. Applications for the gold card visa have tripled in the last 6 months. It's America's newest export, residency for the rich. So here's the million-dollar question. Is the American dream now just a business transaction? Let's talk about it in the comments. Would you take the deal if you had the cash? Or does it feel like the system's rigged from the jump? Stick with me. Because after this, what comes next will make you question everything you thought you knew about US immigration. And no, we are not even close to the bottom yet. Real-life travel, airport nightmares, and stricter screening. He had one shot. 26-year-old Oriv Sharma boarded a flight from Mumbai to Lax with nothing but a suitcase, a heart full of dreams, and a tourist visa he'd waited 9 months to get. His plan? Visit his sister, maybe explore tech opportunities. But the moment he stepped off the plane, everything changed. CBP officers pulled him aside, random check, they said, but what started as a routine screening turned into a full-blown interrogation. How long are you staying? Who's paying for your trip? Why do you have a resume in your bag? 3 hours. No food. No calls. Just bright lights, cold chairs, and questions he'd already answered a dozen times. Then came the gut punch. We believe you're intending to work illegally. You're being removed tonight. No trial. No phone call to his sister. No goodbye. Just a signature, a stamp, and a one-way flight back to India. His visa? Cancelled. Banned from re-entry for 5 years. An Oriv story? Not unique. Since early 2025, under heightened Trump-era protocols, U.S. Customs has intensified behavioral screenings at over 46 major international airports. One wrong look, one nervous pause, one minor document slip, and you're out. No appeal. No sympathy. Over 71,000 travelers have been turned away so far this year, most of them with valid visas. So if you think having the right paperwork means you're safe, think again. In this new America, intentions are judged faster than facts, and the door slams shut without warning. And the worst part? Some people never make it back in. Ever. What are they asking? The 2025 Questionnaire. Imagine landing in the US in 2025. You're jet-lagged, running on 2 hours of sleep, and before you even hit baggage claim, you're face-to-face with an officer holding a clipboard and a stare that says, one wrong answer, and it's game over. That was Isabella's welcome. She flew in from Sao Paulo on a student visa to start her master's in data science. She rehearsed her story in the mirror, wore her best blazer, even printed out her acceptance letter. Didn't matter. They grilled her like she was trying to smuggle secrets into Langley. Why this university? How are you paying? What happens after graduation? Are you staying? Then came the curveball. Do you know anyone who's overstayed their visa? What? Since when was that a thing? Whether you're a student, tourist, family visitor, or temporary worker, they've got checklists now. And in 2025, those lists feel like interrogation manuals. Tourist? Where are you staying? Who invited you? What proof do you have your return? Worker? Exact job title. Who's your employer? Show us the contract. Now. One awkward pause, one shaky answer, and boom, you're on the no entry list. Over 112,000 travelers have been flagged so far this year alone for inconsistent responses. So here's the scary truth. In 2025, your visa isn't your ticket, it's a test. And the questions? They are not just small talk. They are gatekeepers. Now tell me, would you pass? Let's talk in the comments. What would trip you up? Why people are getting deported? The airport fallout. Rafik hadn't seen his daughter in 3 years. He held a visa, had his documents, and flew 19 hours from Nairobi just to surprise her for her college graduation in Chicago. He brought gifts, tears in his eyes, a heart full of hope. He was 6 steps from that final customs officer. When they pulled him aside, random screening, they said, but it wasn't random. It never is when you're from certain countries. Inside a cold white room, 2 officers grilled him. Who paid for the flight? Why Chicago? Why now? Do you plan to stay? They said his invitation letter felt too emotional. His bank account too low. And the real gut punch? He cried. He cried when they told him he looked too nervous to be trusted. And in the US, that's enough. Subjective suspicion equals deportation. His visa? Revoked. His flight? Back within hours. His dream of holding his daughter again? Crushed. And here's the truth no one wants to admit. A US visa doesn't guarantee entry. The immigration officer at the airport is the judge, jury, and if they feel you're lying, boom, you out. This isn't Ray. In 2025 alone, over 37,000 travelers were deported right at the airport, without stepping foot outside. The top reasons? Inconsistent answers, fake documents, nervous behavior, weak home country ties. It's become a system of snap judgments and silent heartbreaks. And Rafik? His daughter waited at arrivals for hours, until the phone rang. She dropped to her knees in Terminal 5. And if you think that's the worst part, wait till you hear how people are now getting banned, before they even book a flight. Stay close. What's coming next will haunt you. How to avoid being deported. Your 2025 checklist. Anna flew from the Philippines to Lax in April 2025. First time outside the country. She had every dream packed in her tiny Samsonite, Disneyland, selfies on Venice Beach, hugging her cousin she hadn't seen in 10 years. Her tourist visa was valid. Documents complete. She memorized her answers. But when the officer asked, "What do you plan to do in LA?" Anna nervously replied, "Maybe look for a job if I like it here." Boom. Wrong answer. She was flagged for intent to overstay. Visa? Cancelled. She spent the night in a holding room crying alone, and was flown back the next morning without ever leaving the airport. This is happening way too often. So how do you survive US immigration in 2025? Here's your real, brutally honest deportation survival checklist. 1. Be honest. No white lies. One wrong word can ruin your entire trip. 2. Document everything. Students, bring your I-20, acceptance letters, proof of funds. Tourists, print your hotel booking, return flights, travel insurance. Workers, employment letter, contract, pay slips. 3. Know your visa rules. Tourists can't work. Students can't mention full-time jobs. Overstaying is automatic disqualification. And 4. Be calm, be clear, speak confidently. Don't ramble or get too friendly. Expect extra screening. It's normal. Don't panic. According to the DHS, airport deportations have jumped 22% in 2025 alone. The new subjective suspicion standard allows officers to deny entry just based on vibes. So let me ask you, what would you have answered if you were in Anna's shoes? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your take. And if you think this was intense, wait till you hear what's happening to people with dual passports. We are just getting started. Smash that like button if you want to keep your visa safe. Because next up, we expose the silent blacklist no one is talking about. Are you ready for 2025? Carlos had dreams, documents, and still got denied. In 2025, the US border doesn't care about dreams. It cares about proof. Follow the rules or get wrecked. If this helped, smash that like, sub to Insyd Report, and tag someone who needs to hear this.